This is Burl Sports 1941 double play complete set group break. Thanks for buying in. Thanks for watching. We did sell out with about 15 minutes to spare. So thank all of you who bought early. Thank all of you who bought late. And those of you who bought in the middle. For some reason the double play set didn't quite garner the interest I thought it would. But nevertheless, you bought in. You're here. You're interested. And so am I. So I've got 10 hits pulled out here that I'll show you. We'll read all the names since there are only 75 cards. And then if I can quit hitting the camera, we will use random.org's list randomizer. So have the list here of slots. We'll paste the randomized list next to this checklist here. So as you see, the thing that's different about this one is that we have two numbers for every one. So card number 1 is 1, 2, face French and Page. Card number 2 will be card 3, 4, Herman and Hack, and so on. 75 cards. We have 75 names. And copy it. We'll get started if there are no questions. Questions, no. If this is your first time joining us, I do think we have a couple of you. You should be able to use the chat just below the view box on my website. You may have to click a drop down and go to chat, or it may be called social stream. And that way you can interact with us here. Nobody really seems to do that, but it is an option. So 6 viewers, 75 cards, shouldn't take us very long. So let's get started. We'll paste the list here. We will randomize it 3 times. The third time will be the one that takes. And we'll copy paste that next to the checklist. So here's 1, 2, 3. All right. Here they are in random order. Let's copy it. Checklist. Oops, let's still delete those 2 extra cells so everything lines up. Well, forgive my busy desktop. All right, here we go, folks. Well, trying to get it where we can just see one name at a time. Make those a little bit bigger. So, 2 at a time will work. All right. So, still have up to 7 viewers. Thanks again for joining us. We're just getting started. Just randomized the list 3 times. And here we'll go through our results. So, the French Page goes to Tim Crucker. The Herman Hack goes to Paul Bristol. The Frey Vandermeer goes to Kyle Kaysen. The Derringer Walters goes to Jamin Castleman. The McCormick Werber goes to Pat Gillespie. The Ripple Lombardi goes to David Mowat. The Campuris and Wyatt goes to Bob Sheeks. The Owen Wayner goes to James Lee. And again, I pulled out the top 10 hits. So the first one we'll look at will actually be 23-24, the Reese. Some say it's his rookie, some say it's not, but So let's see. Card 17, Lavagetto Riser, goes to Daniel Rauer. Make sure y'all can see that. Okay, great. Next up, Wadzel Kamili goes to Harold Tourget. Then Walker Medwick goes to Donald Prine. Here's the Reese Higby, goes to Edwin Pastrana. There you go. Next up, the Danning Melton goes to Harold Tourget. Then Gumbert Whitehead goes to Paul Bristol. Orengo Moore goes to Harold Tourget. The Ott Young goes to Pat Gillespie. The Handley Vaughn goes to Pat Gillespie. The Klinger Brown goes to Paul Bristol. The Moore Mancuso goes to Paul Bristol. The Mize Slaughter goes to Paul Bristol. Several of you said this was your favorite card in the set. It's one of mine as well. It's fascinating. Johnny Mize actually sued over his use in over the use of his image in this card. So it is somewhat infamous for that reason. Next up, we have Cooney Sisti goes to Jeff DeRose. We have West Rowell goes to Kyle Kaysen. Litweiler May goes to Harold Tourget. Then Hayes Brancato goes to Andre. Johnson Nagel goes to Jack Gabbard. Then the Newsom Greenberg goes to Thomas High. And the McCoskey Gehringer goes to Steven Anderson. The Higgins Bartell goes to Jamin Castleman. The first Ted Williams, along with Jim Tabor, goes to Nathan Lindgren. There you go. Next up, the Cronin Fox goes to Harold Tourget. Double Hall of Fame action there. Next up, we have Gomez Rizzuto goes to Tony Cipriano. Next up is the DiMaggio Keller, goes to Jeff Johnson. Quite the run of hits here. The Rolf Dickey goes to Jimmy Ori. Jimmy was the winner of the free slot in this set break, so nice hit, Jimmy, there for you. Next up is Gordon Ruffing, goes to Andre. Salters Rigney goes to Pat Gillespie. Meyer Chapman goes to Andre. Travis Case goes to Harold Tourget. Krakalkis and Feller goes to Paul Bristol. Keltner Trotsky goes to David Mowat. And the Williams Cronin goes to David Mowat. This was predominantly the favorite card mentioned on the free slot contest as your favorite in the set. So nice card, David. So those are the last ones we're going to show, but I will read through the rest of the names here. We have card number 42, Gordon Keller, goes to Andre. Trotsky Case goes to Doug Williams. Ott Whitehead goes to Pat Gillespie. Danning Gumbert goes to Nathan Lindgren. Young Melton goes to David Mowat. Ripple Walters goes to David Mowat. Stack Klinger goes to Andre. Mize Litweiler goes to Harold Tourget. D'Alessandro Gollin goes to David Mowat. I didn't pull that Mize for some reason, Harold. Well, you'll see it in the mail here in a couple of days. Sorry about that. Lee Cavaretta goes to Andre. Pitlack DiMaggio goes to James Lee. Pretty Murphy goes to Paul Bristol. Heinrich Russo goes to Bob Sheeks. Crosetti Sturm goes to Nathan Lindgren. Goodman McCormick goes to Jason Rissler. Juiced Coy goes to Pat Gillespie. Wayner Majeski goes to Tony Cipriano. Hassett Moore goes to Nathan Lindgren. Etten Rizzo goes to James Lee. Chapman Moses goes to Mike Yaufman. Babbage Siebert goes to Andre. Potter McCoy goes to Paul Bristol. Clarence Campbell goes to Clarence Campbell and Lou Boudreau goes to David Mowat. Hemsley Harder goes to Andre. Walker Heaving goes to David Mowat. Rucker Adams goes to Jeffrey Manega. Arnovich Hubble goes to Mike Yaufman. Riggs DeRocher goes to Harold Tourget. Fitzsimmons Vosmick goes to Jeff Johnson. Crespi Brown goes to David Mowat. Hefner Clift goes to Jason Rissler. Last but certainly not least, Garms Fletcher goes to Nathan Lindgren. So I'll have these posted in table form here shortly. Thank you again for buying in, and cards should ship out by Thursday. And Thursday evening, the 71 Topps set break will go on sale. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks again for joining in. Thanks for participating in Burl Sports 41 double play complete set group break. Thanks again.